All right, let's talk for a minute about some things that you should consider if you are thinking about getting divorced. The first couple things that I would suggest people think about are, it's not really legal advice, but in my experience, it has a tremendous amount of importance in deciding whether or not to proceed with the divorce and how to go about doing it. The first question is, are you sure that you want to get a divorce? When people come to me, that's something they've already thought quite a bit about, but sometimes they haven't really given some of the rational or practical considerations because they really aren't sure what all those are. They haven't given those enough thought. You're going to spend a lot of time and money and emotional capital going through the divorce process. There's a rare occasion when that isn't the case for folks, but most folks, that's it. If you're going to spend 9 to, say, 18 months and tens of thousands of dollars on getting divorced, if you go through a contested matter, at least think about, could I invest that time and money in salvaging and turning around this marriage and keeping it together, especially if you have kids involved. So that's the first thing I would want people to think about, and I would like kind of walk people through some of those things they're likely to expect in going through the divorce in making that decision. If you are going to go ahead, then the next thing, again, this is not really legal advice, but is if there's anything you can do to turn down the hostility and to keep that down. Because all those costly considerations, the money, the emotion, the damaged relationships, collateral damage to children, all of that is going to be multiplied immensely if the hostility is high, if you cannot communicate at all civilly with the other side. So if there is a way to do that, I strongly encourage you to do that, because then as you do go through the divorce process, you can make decisions that are based on what is best for you and for your children going forward, rather on how you can cause the most damage and pain to the other party, which ultimately is going to come back on you and your kids. So then the next thing I would say is folks ought to get organized. Organize your records of your property and your debt, because they're going to need to be divided. Organize those income records that you have so that you have a clear picture of what's gone on in the past, because those income issues become important in deciding how to calculate child support and possibly spousal support. And think carefully about what kind of parenting arrangement you would like to see put in place going forward. That's going to help you a lot when you either consult with an attorney or have to explain what you want in front of a judge. And that kind of leads me to my last thing I would suggest today is think about consulting with an attorney who can help guide you through those considerations you're going to need to think about as you decide whether to get divorced and how to go through that process if you do.